everybody, and welcome back to more All the Mods 9. Today, we're gonna be evil by stepping into Evilcraft. Now, the whole goal of Evilcraft is to get right down here to get this stuff called Rejuvenated Flesh. Basically, it's a piece of flesh that can absorb blood. So, in order for us to get to here, we first need to start at here by collecting blood, not with flesh, but with a blood extractor. It is very much, this is just in tune with a whole lot of blood. Like, there's pretty much nothing in this that does not have to do with blood. So, you can go ahead, make this thing right there, and now we have ourselves a blood extractor. Now, normally what you need to do is you need to have this in your inventory whilst killing mobs, and then you'd absorb some little blood in it. You can see the meter in there filled up a little bit. I can't reach the limit. Oh! Either way, though, this is how you normally get blood, and then you're able to infuse it into multiple different things. Now then, what else we'd normally do is we would go ahead and then take this blood and then just lay it out on the ground like so. And then we would pretty much just wait for this to dry. But that takes forever. And right there we go. We got ourselves a hardened blood block, and then we can break it, but it doesn't turn into the thing we need. We would need a flint and steel in order to be able to extract this. But fortunately, there is a better way. To do this, we're gonna need to grab ourselves our good old friend, the market, and place him down, and also grab ourselves an emerald, because we're gonna need to pay this boy for a very special tree. Aha, here we go, the undead tree. There we go. So now, with this undead tree, we're gonna be able to do some very snazzy things. So let's go ahead and grab ourselves a drawer. We don't need to connect this to anything, so we can just go ahead and put this down on its own. And then we can go ahead and throw this thing in here on top of a pot, and that should be able to grow. And it is definitely growing, but it's taking too long. So we're gonna speed this thing up all the way. And wow, that definitely takes a little while, but there we go. Now we have ourselves undead logs. Now, what we can go ahead and do, we can go ahead and get rid of the market. We don't need you anymore. Poof. But what we do is we take this mechanical squeezer from Integrated Dynamics and just throw these into here, and then it crushes, turning into the blood that we need. We need to get ourselves one full bucket, which is going to take 10 of these. Now all of these will go into the drying basin, and the drying basin will dry out all of our blood, turning it into that coagulated blood that we had up there. But I don't know how long this takes, so we are gonna be waiting here for a little while.
A few moments later.
There it goes. And then we can go ahead and just extract it without the need of flint and steel. And we got ourselves hardened blood. Then the real kicker, we can go ahead and then throw in some coal and then this hardened blood. Let it speed up. It's gonna take a little bit, but you know, it's fine. Because once this is smelted, we then get ourselves these blood shards, which is what we were gonna need to do with this stuff by just breaking it up there. So now we have already gotten a more sustainable source than having to go back and just keep killing mobs over and over again. It's beautiful. So the next up, we're gonna need to make ourselves this dark power gem. But there's is a problem, because to make the dark power gem, we need the blood infuser. To make the blood infuser, we need the blood infused crystal core. But to make the core, we need the dark power gem. How on earth do we solve this problem? There is an easy way. Let's go ahead and grab ourselves our dark gems. We're probably gonna need a lot more than these, but that's fine because I do have the ore for this configured inside of my digital miner. So if I do need to get more, I can go ahead and get that going. As a matter of fact, I'm probably just gonna go ahead and get that going right now. There we go. We're gonna see 43. That's cool. Okay. So now what we need to do with this is we need to head on over to our pool of blood. We're gonna want to break these apart because we don't want it to do that. So what we now do, we just throw this into here, and it should infuse with the blood.
Eventually.
And there we go. I was fiddling around with it for a little while to try to figure out why it wasn't working. But apparently I need to have all 5 of those things like that. And then it just straight up absorbs it. So there we go. Now we got ourselves a dark gem. And you are annoying, mister. So I'm going to have to just smite you. And wouldn't you know it, by the time all that was finished, I managed to get all the dark gems. Now, I don't want to have to redo that part over and over again, so we are going to have to go ahead and make this much, much simpler. As I said, by creating this blood infusion core. Yes, that's what it's called. And then we can go ahead and make ourselves this blood infuser. Oh my goodness, it's so freaking beautiful. So then after that, yeah, that will then unlock the whole thing with the undead sapling, because I wasn't really supposed to be able to make this until I got this, but mark it. So now we can go ahead and put this thing pretty much anywhere, and then we can just go ahead and deposit all of our blood into here whenever we have the need for it. So we are going to want to make sure that we disconnect this thing for when we want to input more blood into our, what is this thing called? Extractor. The next thing on our agenda is going to make this promise of tenacity. To make this, we just need spider eye and a bowl of promises, either tier 1, or actually there's a tier 0, but any of the tiers will work. But we'll also need this iron promise acceptor, which is going to take this thing to be full and also an iron block. And as for this bowl of promises, we're going to need half of the thing to be full. But then we're also going to need this dusted bowl of promises, which is going to take this bowl of empty promises, which is just going to take some more dark power gems. So let's go ahead and just throw some of these into here. Oh no, a blood moon has risen. Whatever will I do if I head on back over to here? Oh, well that's handy. You know, it's funny. The blood moon was oddly fitting for today's theme, and we don't have to deal with it at all. Ha ha! Forget you, boy. I've got this going on here, and you haven't seen that video. Ho ho ho! Unfortunate. But now we already have enough dark gems, so we can go ahead and make ourselves our bowl of empty promises, and then we can take 2 dark gems, throw these into the mechanical squeezer, which gets us our dark gem dust, or no, crushed dark gem. Sorry, my bad. It's the same thing, but you know what? It does matter. Then we go ahead and make ourselves our bowl of promises. Alrighty, we got all the blood we need, so now we can just go ahead and then throw our block of iron into here, and we could wait for it, but I'm gonna speed it up a little bit. Oh, I didn't even notice the particles before. Oh, it's like bubbling blood. Oh, that's kind of disgusting actually, but there we go. Now we got ourselves the promise acceptor. Then we can go ahead and take the blood out from here, just throw it back over into here. This thing actually holds exactly 5,000 buckets, which is convenient for this next part, but like, wow. Blood bubbles. Public disclaimer, don't have bubbles in your blood. It's bad for you. But here we go. We should be able to finally get ourselves our bowl of promises tier 0. There we go, which is another quest done. Beautiful. Or, well, it's half of a quest anyways, because the other half of the quest is for us to be able to go ahead and then make ourselves our, what's this thing called again? Promise Tenacity 1. Beautiful. Oh, we actually keep the bowl of promises. Either way, though, after that, the next step for us is to make the promise of tenacity up to tier 2. In order for us to get this, we're going to need to fill up our blood to 40,000. And then we're also going to need to infuse this thing with a block of gold to get the gold promise acceptor. And then we need ourselves a bowl of promises up to tier 1 and some sort of ender pearl. Now the tier 1 bowl of promises is basically the same. We just need to use this promise tenacity and our 5,000 buckets of blood. But this is where things are going to get a bit interesting. Because, well, I can't hold up to 4,000 buckets of blood. This is a problem. But it does have a very easy solution, because if we just look back in the blood infuser quest, it tells us exactly what we need to do. It says right down here at the bottom, these can be upgraded using promises. These are the promises. So since this is the tier 1 promise, we should just need to either click this or throw this into here. Now with this, we should be able to just put in an insane amount of blood. Now, I'm gonna need a little bit going in here first and foremost, because I'm pretty sure I can't see exactly how much until it's actually there. But there we go. Now, we are capable of holding 40,000 buckets of blood. Now, before we do progress though, some of you may have noticed that this does take quite a while. There is an easy fix for that though, as we also have a promise of velocity, which is just basically the same recipe as the promise of tenacity, but we just use redstone instead of the spider's eye. There we go. We do have an empty bowl of promises again though, but this is fine. So now we can go ahead and throw this baby into here, and then that'll speed up all of our crafts. I will need to take it out for when I need to put the next one in so that way I can move it down, but you know what, that's fine. We only have 3 of the major upgrades to this, so we'll be able to keep that one in for last. All the pristine blood is ready, so now with the power of speed, we're gonna have this thing in no time. But with the power of even more speed, we'll have this thing in even less than no time, which is called now. There we go. Now we got ourselves the promise. So now we can go ahead and combine all of these to make ourselves our promise of tenacity 2. And we're also gonna wanna go ahead and then make our next dusted bowl again while we're here. So now with this baby, I either need to put this one in after this, or I need to replace it. Okay, I need to replace it. Okay, that's interesting. I thought it was gonna be like a layered thing, but no, I'm just gonna be replacing them. Which means now, if we put the blood in here, we should have 160,000 millibuckets, which is 160 buckets. There we go. And that means we are almost done with all of this. Our next objective is just going to be to get ourselves the Promise Tenacity 3, which is going to take ourselves a bowl of promises of an even higher caliber. And actually, I believe I just put in enough for us to be able to do that. So there we freaking go. We can go ahead and increase this baby, and then we got ourselves our bowl of tenacity. No, our bowl of promises. To get this one, you know the drill. Fill it all the way up, and block of diamond. Alrighty, we've gotten all the blood again for the final time, because the good news is we won't actually need to do this again. Now, okay, there we go. It started moving. Wow, even with the speed, this one's gonna take a while, isn't it? Oh, we can't have that. Oh no, we're gonna need to speed that. Wow, even 16 was pretty slow. Okay, 32. There we go. That's the one we like to see. There we go. Now we've gotten ourselves our Diamond Promise Acceptor. Alrighty then. So, now with this, we are going to need... Okay, wait, no. Tier 2 is going to work out just fine. So now we're going to need to grab ourselves an Eye of Ender, so that way we can then go ahead and make ourselves our Tier 3 Promise. There we freaking go. It's beautiful. So now we can go ahead and replace this one once more, unlock that final slot, and now, if we put in a little bit more blood in here, there we go. Now we can see that we have ourselves 640,000 millibuckets of space in here. That's freaking beautiful. Now, what's even better is that we aren't actually going to need to use up the rest of that in order to make another one of these promises. We are done with that process. We've reached the final phase of this. What we need is we're going to need to make ourselves this Garmonbosia. In order for us to get this, we're going to need 50,000 millibuckets in there, which won't be too big of a problem. And we're also going to need this thing called Materialized Vengeance Essence, which is just going to take 8 crushed dark gems and this stuff called Vengeance Essence, which drops from a Vengeance Spirit. This is where this is going to get confusing. The Vengeance Spirits will, I think, come up whenever I kill a creature of some kind. So, in order to increase my chances of them spawning, I'm going to need to make myself this Vengeance Ring. But I don't actually know if this is going to... Disabled? Wait, why is it disabled? Oh, wait, there we go. Oh! Okay, so it starts as disabled, and then I can enable it. Okay, cool, I'm an enabler. Haha! We can go ahead and just throw this in my ring slot right now so we can just save the space there. So, wow, wait, this actually does a lot. And also, where is my hand? Oh gosh, have I become so fast? Wait. Dude, this gives me so many effects. What? How? you know what? I'm not gonna complain. In fact, I think I'm actually gonna keep this ring. That's pretty awesome, actually. Okay, so now what we can do, if this was gonna work, is we can go ahead and then start summoning these guys. Oh, but that's just gonna, even if it does drop it, it's just gonna go into here. Interesting. Okay. What we can do then is we can go ahead and rid ourselves of the absorption hopper for right now, and then we can turn this on for the sake of science. Now, we can go ahead and I can actually go ahead and like turn my magnet on also. That way I can attract stuff closer to me. So now, let's just go ahead and smite them. Oh! Those are the that's what those are?! Those are vengeance spirits? Oh! That explains a few things. Okay, but cool. So the question then becomes, yeah, I can't kill them with my Morgan. Okay, so this is where things are gonna get a bit weird, because I looked inside of here, and apparently I already have Vengeance Essence. I don't know where I got this, and I don't even know how I got it, and also something's attacking me, and I don't appreciate that. So whatever's hurting me can just go away. I'm assuming there's just more vengeance spirits. That's fine though. So okay, we have ourselves the vengeance essence at some point. I'm guessing it happened due to random reward. That's the only thing I can think of that makes sense. Okay, so then, we're gonna need to go ahead and then make ourselves this materialized vengeance essence, which means we're gonna need to go ahead and smelt ourselves 8 of these dark gems. Then we can just go ahead and then surround this baby with the vengeance essence, and we get ourselves some materialized vengeance essence. Alrighty, so now we can go ahead and then throw in our materialized vengeance essence. Speed this baby up, and then we get ourselves our Garmonbosia. There we go. Now this is ready. So then, for the next part to this, we've got ourselves everything we need to finally get ourselves our rejuvenated flesh, which can also hold blood. Oh, and it's also an infinite source of food. I'm gonna go into why I don't want to do that in a second, but there's 2 things that we could use to make this. The garbanza beans, those things we can, the Garmonbosia is a requirement, but for the next part, we can either use werewolf flesh or humanoid flesh, which drops from players. Now, werewolves are apparently like villagers, but I haven't seen a single one of those, let alone killed one. But when it comes to humanoid flesh, that is something totally different, because while I was under the guise of King Cookie 4, no longer, for I am, yeah, I can just go ahead and type T. Yes, I am Fortune Cook E now. We had lost some of our flesh, but now it is ready. So we can go ahead and then use the last scraps of our old identity to make ourselves the rejuvenated flesh. There we go. Why did it give us that quest twice, though? That's fascinating. Why would it give us that quest twice? And why is there a little star beneath it? What could it be? Oh, yes, it is. Rejuvenated flesh. You see, the whole reason we needed this is because it is ingredient for the philosopher's fuel, which is part of the Altamont star. Oh my freaking gosh. That is so freaking beautiful. Now then, before we do anything else, since we are doing straight Evilcraft today, there is another thing here in Evilcraft that goes into the ingredients for the Altamont star, and that is this lightning bomb. To make a lightning bomb, we need a lightning grenade and TNT. Now, the lightning grenade is oh so very easy, as we're going to need to get ourselves a weather container. And now, we need to go out somewhere. Here it is. This is an altar from Evilcraft, and right in here, we have ourselves an environment accumulator that responds to the weather. Now, it is currently just daylight, so when we throw this baby in here, it is going to infuse the raw daytime into here, and now we have ourselves my only sunshine. It's beautiful. Oh, and now it's raining. The timing of that, because I'm gonna need to turn this into raining before I turn it into something else. So, that sucks. Either way though, we can convert this my only sunshine into a rain one by simply mixing it with 2 water buckets. I only have 1 though. This is fine though, because making other ones are super easy. So now we can go ahead and combine these, make ourselves the weather container for rain. Then, with our final one, we mix it with glowstone and get ourselves thunderstruck. And now, we mix those with our ender pearls and get ourselves the lightning grenades. So now, we just need to slap in a little bit of TNT, and then we get ourselves the lightning bombs, which is yet another ingredient for the Altamont Star. 2 in 1 day, all from the same mod pack. Same mod pack, from the same mod. It's freaking beautiful. So now, I only really need 1 of these, but I do kind of want to test. What exactly does the lightning bomb do? Because I have never seen this thing before. So, I have a couple theories as to what it might do, but let's just go ahead and grab ourselves a flint and steel and head on out and get rid of the rain. Alrighty, we're in a more secluded place up. Apparently, I accidentally wandered over to another version of my base made of bricks. So, let's go ahead and just set off this lightning bomb. Oh, what on earth does this do? That was weak. What? Was that supposed to do something? That was super weak, actually. What the? That was so freaking disappointing, man. What the heck? You can't just do that to me, game. Like, at least make it like summon a thunderstorm or something. Like, come on. Is there anything in the actual Evilcraft questline that says what that thing was supposed to do? Because that was just disappointing. Yeah, no, it doesn't actually say anything on what that thing was supposed to do. Huh. I'm honestly a little offended, actually. Like, I was actually genuinely curious. I went through all the trouble of making an extra one of yous, and you just do me dirty like that. Well, I'm gonna go cry in my bed now.
Thousands of tears later.
Yes, Angel, you're such a good girl. Oh, thank you for comforting me so. Oh, I love you, little angel. Oh, and also, if you all loved this video, and be sure to check out our last All the Mods 9 video, where we went to space. Bye-bye!